for stopping by. Nice to see you. So let's take a little pause from the speaking here for a second, and let me just kind of explain what your final exam will look like, when it is, and how it's going to count. All right. So again, I'll make this a little bigger. You do have this on your current lesson if you want to look at it there or on your own. Just make it a little bigger. There we go. All right. So here's the deal. Your final exam covers those chapters. I kind of listed them there for you just to kind of remind you of what we've been working on. Also, so that you can see them. If you look on Canvas, you'll see various resources related to each of those chapters. All right, so your exam is 20% of your final grade. Each 9 weeks is worth 40%. That's the way it always is. What is different this year is, yes, it is true that this final can only help your grade just this once. So take it and do your best, and there's no pressure. So this is, again, an opportunity just to finish off this strange year that we have had. And the idea is that, you know, we understand for some people this year has been great. For some people this year has been meh, and for some people this year has been very difficult for a variety of challenging reasons. So what we are kind of attempting to do is understand that and help you out a little bit. It was like the credit recovery program was to help you out a little bit. That is not something I have ever seen done in the 14 years that I have worked here. And this is not something that I've ever seen done. So take advantage of it. All right. The idea is, if you look at your semester 2 grade, where it says S2, that is basically your grade. As of right now, the only thing that's still going into that is your speaking quiz tomorrow. And otherwise, that is your grade. So the final works like it says. So if you do better than what you have on your semester 2 grade, that will raise up your grade. If you do the same or worse, it will not affect your grade. So really, it's kind of a win-win. There's no pressure. There's no stress like there usually is around finals. And yeah, so I guess my feeling is, if you're here, you need to take the final, right? Because you've got these huge chunks of time. You're going to be in here for like 3 hours on your exam day. So, which I'll explain in a minute. So if you're here, you need to be prepared to take the final. All right. If you choose not to, you know, that is on you. I would still count you absent, but you know, if you're not here, then it does not hurt you. But that's kind of where we're at on that. So let me tell you what it looks like, and then make sure you understand kind of how finals work, because I know if you're a freshman, you actually have never done this before because we didn't have you in person for a semester. So the exam this time is just multiple choice, right? It is all a written, you know, on Canvas test like we've been taking. Typically the speaking is part of the final, but we made the speaking just a grade because we wanted everybody to do it. So that was something that we didn't want you to get out of. So that's why that is part of your final grade, not part of your final exam grade. So just to be clear, the speaking that we're doing tomorrow is required. It is something that everyone will take, and it is your last grade for the semester. All right, so that's where we're at on that. So that means what's left is multiple choice. So it'll include some reading and two listening sections, and basically focused on vocab and grammar. And I'll review what vocab and grammar here in a second. So here's how it works. So for me, I would have you on next Tuesday, right? So I just listed my second year classes. So the way it works is, besides Friday is different. Hopefully your second period teacher will go over that with you. You just have one final on Friday for second period. All right. So then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have 2 finals a day, right? And you have basically like the first one and the second one. So the first one starts at 7:20. And you have an hour of study time, and then you have an hour and a half or 2. It ends up being a little less, like an hour and a half of exam time. Then you have a little break, and then you go to your second one, which for me would be next Tuesday in here. So we start at 10:20. We have about an hour to study, plus we have a little time for lunch. So what you'll do, if you see that orange paper over there, it's like the menu for the snack lunches that they provide you. So you would be like released to go down to the cafeteria, you can get your little snack pack, and then you can come back up here and eat your lunch. If you choose to bring your own food, obviously you can do that too. So that's why the second exam each day is just a little bit longer. Then we take the exam and then you're done. So you get out of here about 1:30. It's a little bit earlier than you get out an hour early next week. So that's kind of how that works. Now I only listed my second year exams there. So you can see on Wednesday, I guess is missing. So Wednesday must be 7, 8, and 9, right? Or 6, 7, 8, and 9, whatever you have in there. So that's how the final works. If you have a question on that, obviously you can ask me because again, some of you have never done it before. So for my class, it's like I said, vocab and then grammar. So the vocab, I will give you links starting tomorrow on Quizlet and stuff that you can practice. And then the verbs are 2 commands, which we've just done, right? And then preterite and imperfect, which we've already started reviewing on the speaking, because you'll notice that one section is imperfect and one section is preterite. I will give you a bunch of extra practice activities on that starting tomorrow that will be available on Canvas for you to practice at your own pace. Otherwise, obviously, there's old stuff on Canvas that you can always practice. And then there's a couple websites you can use as well. So that's kind of the overview of the exam itself next week. What can I clear up for you? Is there anything that's unclear or confusing about finals in general or my finals? Yes, Maddie, or is it? No, but I can do that. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want to jot it down or do you? There should be, I mean, yeah, I would assume that like they'll give you something on Parent Square or like, you know, put it on, it's probably on the website. But basically what you should know, so this Friday is second period. So whatever you have second period is this Friday. You'll have a big chunk, like a 3-hour chunk in second period this week. And then your other classes will be a little shortened. Actually, I don't even know if you'll meet, it might be the whole morning and then you start with 4 through 10. I'll have to look at that. So, yeah, otherwise, so you've got 1 and 3 on Tuesday, and then it's 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 on Wednesday, and then 4, 5, 6, and 10 on Thursday. Anything else? Yes, so it'd be next Tuesday, so a week from today. And you would have me second. So you do first period first and then me second. Make sense? What else? No? Okay. So, you know, like I said, this overview will be there. And otherwise, like I said, starting tomorrow, I'll start posting just like some practice stuff that you can work on. But there's not going to be a lot of time for us to talk more about the final because I'll be doing speaking for the next 2 days. And then I feel like I won't see you on Friday. I have jury duty on Friday anyway, so I won't be here. But I feel like maybe you don't meet with 1 and 3 on Friday either. Is that right? Okay. And then it starts with 4 through 10. Okay, so I wouldn't see you anyway. And then Monday, I don't see you because we don't have school. And then, well, you know, in person. And then Tuesday's the final. So if you think of things, you need to ask me kind of really today through Thursday, because then I won't see you again until Tuesday. All right, ready to move it along? Okay. So anyway, that document is there for you if you need it. Oh, somebody put something in the chat. Let me see. Yes, Liliana, that's correct. All right, so let's grab the speaking. You need to grab your speaking. I am happy to spend some time together on this. And then I want to give you some time to practice. So hopefully you have stuff organized and ready to go. So let's switch gears and talk about speaking. So I will, I guess, screen share for a second. And then you can kind of work on your own things here. All right, so here's what you need to know. Oh, Maggie, go ahead. Is it like about a certain, like how to say something? Okay, go ahead. No, so here's what I will probably do. So here's what I envision. All right. So, like we said, you're going to have 4 to 5 questions. I would say no, do not count on being able to see the questions. All right. So what I will probably do if you are here is I'll probably put each question on a note card and then we might just pick them randomly. And then I would have them and read them to you. So I would say, yeah, don't count on necessarily being able to see them. So that is one thing you need to recognize what the question means by hearing it. Now I'm happy to repeat it for you if you need me to say it, twice. But otherwise you should be able to recognize it from hearing it. Okay. And we'll practice that today. So like I said, I'll have the questions separated into 2 piles. So I'll have these 5 questions here and then these 5 questions next to it. I don't know. And we'll just pick a couple randomly and then I'll ask them to you. All right. So you need to make sure you understand what the question means. You need to make sure you can answer it in Spanish by memory. You can't use your notes. With a good answer. All right, let me remind you, last week we talked about what I'm looking for. Main thing is, can I understand you? Can you understand me? Can we answer a question together? Right, and then things that also factor in are your pronunciation, your grammar, and then don't forget your risk taking, right? We said, me gusta la pizza is a sentence. It's not a great sentence. It's not really what I'm looking for, right? With these, I'm looking for an imperfect answer, which we'll do some examples here in a second. With these, I'm looking for a preterite answer. And then I'm just looking for some decent vocab, right? The more you can get in, the better. If you can tell me 2 sports you used to play or 2 places you used to go, is that better than 1? Sure. Right? If you can tell me pizza and something a little harder, is that better? Yeah. All right. So you're that's the benefit of having time to prepare is that you can really prepare some good answers. And then it's just about practicing them. So I will give you some time today in class to kind of talk to a few different people and make sure that you practice these. So I would say, you're going to plan on going tomorrow. And if I don't get to you tomorrow, then it'll spill over into Thursday. And that will just, give you a little more time to practice. Otherwise, if you get it done, then you can move on and just kind of be reviewing for your final. I always start with volunteers. Generally, I have enough volunteers, at least to get us going for a few minutes. And then I won't, pick on you unless I have to. So otherwise, it'll just be random if I do need to ask somebody to go that is not volunteering. So that's kind of the general setup. Does that make sense? All right, so here's what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to split up our time here. I want to do about 15 minutes on the first 5 questions and about 15 minutes on the second 5 questions. I am happy to go through them. I want to make sure you know what they mean. I want to hear a few different examples. You can check your work, and then I want to just let you practice with a few different people. So that's kind of my plan. So what I want you to do as we go through it is I want you to check what you have. Make sure you're happy with it. If you have a question for me, obviously I'm happy to answer it. And as we go through it, I'll kind of give you some things to double check on your own, and you double check that you have followed the directions and your answers are as good as they can be. Okay. All right. So I think what I am going to do is stop sharing my screen so that I can see my Zoom friends. So obviously Zoom friends, you need to have this document pulled up so that you can use it. Hopefully you've already answered the questions, at least some of them or all of them or whatever, again, it's one of those, the more time you put in, the easier it's going to be for you, probably the better you're going to do. So pull it up so you can look at it as we go through it. All right, so let's just do this. So first question, if I asked you, ¿Cuándo tenías 5 años, cómo eras? Somebody want to know? I'm not going to tell you the answers, but you can tell each other the answers. All right. So somebody want to tell us what that means? What's question 1 mean? Start us off. All right, Maggie's going to start us off. Go ahead. Yeah. So when you were 5, what were you like? All right. So again, I'm looking for some adjectives. I was funny. I was shy. I was tall. I was short. I was interesting. I will remind you, if you are a girl, and you had the word, I don't know, comico, what should you be thinking you need to change that to? Comi, ha, right? So think about your endings. And otherwise, again, most of these, you can pull the verb right out of the question. If the question says, como eras, what were you like? What's your verb you're going to use to answer that? Yo what? Maddie? Yo era, right? So most of these, think about the question, think about what verb you have there, and you can just pull it right out, just put it, change it from the to form into the yo form, right? So yo era, fill in the blank. All right, dos. Now this is the only one where the verb might change a little bit. All right, so let's look at this one. De niño or de niña, ¿qué hacías con tus padres o abuelos? If I ask you that question, what am I trying? What do I want you to, what's the question mean? Yes. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. It was weird. I couldn't tell who was saying that. Thanks, Anna. Yeah. So here's the deal. What did you used to do with, now this could either be, it's interesting how they do it in Spanish. This could either be your father's, could be, or your parents. And this could either be your grandpa's or your grandparents. So probably, right? What did you used to do with your parents or your grandparents? So I don't know. Think back, right? Now, the other thing is you've answered a bunch of these questions before. When we practiced this, I gave you similar or the same similar questions. I don't know. So you can always go back and look on Canvas. There's probably some good answers there. So what did you used to do? I don't know. You had to decide. Did you guys used to go to the park together? Did you guys used to go to the children's museum? Did you used to go to the zoo? Did you used to go on vacation? Did you used to go to the beach? Did you used to go to the pool? Did you, I don't know, right? So did you used to swim? Did you used to play games? Did you used to, you know, that's up to you. What I would be listening for is a verb in the imperfect, right? Imperfecto. Now, think about this. Would you say I used to play at the pool? No. So do I need to repeat that verb I used to do? Okay, listen to my words right now. I'm helping you a little grammatically without giving you the answer. Okay, probably I don't need this verb in your answer. Probably I don't need the word hacía. Unless you're saying I used to do or make something. Okay, you don't need hacía. So you would, again, right? Give me something in the imperfect. If you have an AR verb, what should your ending be, class A? Aba. If you have an ER-IR verb, what should your ending be? Yeah. Right? We used to eat at a restaurant. We used to, I don't know. I mean, you know, you come up with your thing. See, question? Maybe. Okay, so here's the thing. Estar, how you feel and where you are. So are you using a feeling or a location there? Are you talking about how you were feeling? Or are you talking about what you were like? Then I would probably switch to era. Great question. Yes, era is in the imperfect. Right? Because you're saying yo era, I used to be. Great question. Nope, era is the word all by itself. It's an irregular form of ser. Yo era. Great question. If you didn't hear that, Zoom friends, they were saying for number one, could you say estaba? Well, estar is how you feel and where you are. So if you're not saying how you used to feel or where you were located, then you don't want to use that. You want to use the form of ser, which is era. Good question. All right, so I think we're ready for 3. Are we good on 1 and 2? Everybody looking at your answers? Any questions? All right, let's try 3. De niño or niña, ibas de vacaciones y dónde? What am I asking? Ibas de vacaciones. How about Zoom friends? Somebody want to tell us? I'll come back in here in a minute. Zoom friends, what's number 3 mean? All right, Liliana, go ahead.
If you were a kid, did you go on vacation? Where?
Oh, yeah. Where'd you used to go on vacation as a kid? All right. Again, look, you've got the question, ibas, used to go. So put it in the yo form. How would you say I used to go? Iba. And then you tell me where. I don't know. Iba, ah. Now, this can be anything, right? You can name a place. You can name, I don't know. If you can put anything in Spanish, I always would, right? But if it's a word that you just like the name of a place, then maybe, you know, it just is what it is. But things like I would say, like, you know, if you could say like the zoo and you put it in Spanish, do that. Like the children's museum, that's an easy one to put in Spanish. El Museo de Niños, right? It's just, so if you can put, the more you put in Spanish, the better. If you can give me two things, two places you used to go, great. Maybe you want to tell me where you used to go and what you used to do. Okay, again, think about your risk taking, right? Think about what you can add. Yes. Okay, so fuimos is preterite. So I would not use fuimos, all right? Fuimos is I went, and the question is, where did you used to go? All right, great question. I'll say that again. All right, so the question is, can you use fuimos? You can, it's not the end of the world, right? But that's really saying where you went, and the question is asking, where did you used to go as a kid? Take it right out of the question, put it in the yo form. So yo, Eva. Mhm. All right, let me see. I got a question here. Yeah, that if you have the name of a state, you can just leave that in English. Okay, you give it a little accent if you want. But yeah, there's no way the state, if it's the name of a state, then it just is what it is. All right. Número 4. Cuando eras niño, ¿qué te gustaba hacer? What am I asking, Sylvia? Yes, that's 5, but go up to 4.
Oh,
You're totally fine.
What did you like to do?
Yeah, what'd you like to do? So again, think of some verbs that you haven't used. Don't repeat yourself here. I used to like to swim. I used to like to play tennis. I used to like to go to the beach. I used to like to play with my Barbies. I used to like to, I don't know. And again, think of some good words you can use there. Say 2 things you used to like to do if you're trying to impress me, right? Say something that's not a super easy word. Now, let me talk to you about the grammar on that. How do you say I used to like something? Well, again, look at your question. The question is te gustaba. Put that in the yo form. How do you do that? What's the te change to? Me, right? So me gustaba, and then whatever you used to like. If you have a verb, I'll get your question in a second. If you have a verb, would it make sense to say I used to like, I used to swim? No. Would it make more sense to say I used to like to swim? Yes. So what do I do to that verb to swim? Anything? Okay. So look at what you have there. If it's a second verb, you don't need to do anything to it, right? Me gustaba nadar. I used to like to swim. Now, again, can you give me a little more? Can you tell me 2 things? Can you tell me who you used to swim with? I used to like to swim with my friends. That's not a hard thing to add on, right? I used to like to swim with my friends at the pool. Oh my. I used to like to swim, I don't know, at the pool in Florida. So again, think about how you can make your answer as good as you can get it. Sylvia, did you have a question? I wasn't trying to remember.
I did. Did I use this right? Like I tried to add a veces after.
A veces, yeah.
I said maybe 7
So I used to like to swim sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. You can say how often, every day, every summer, every year. Okay. Yeah, that adds to it. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and again, don't say niño / niña. You didn't, but I'm just saying in general, like pick, right? Cuando era niño or cuando era niña, right? Pick the right one, but you don't need to say both. So pick the right one that works for you. Absolutely. Okay. It works with the others too. De niño. Cuando tenía 10 años. Sure. All right. Last one. Number 5 then. ¿Cuál deporte jugabas? What we got there? What sports did you play? So again, take your verb. It's right there. Jugabas. Put it in the yo form. I used to play as what? Jugaba. So for almost all of these, you listen, you understand the question, and then you just grab that verb. The only one it really doesn't work in is to, right? Put it in the yo form. Era, iba, me gustaba, jugaba. You just pull it right back out. Just put it in the yo form. Okay, again, now you're switching to the preterite, which is not terrible. But again, I would like you to try and say, instead of I played, I used to play. So try to keep it jugaba. Great question. Question is, can you say jugué? Yes, but let's try and keep all these in the imperfect. So everything is aba or ia, because it's what I used to do, or, well, yeah, what I used to do. Uh-huh.
Would you rather us put like if we state like 10 comments, would you rather us put it in Spanish? Or does it?
The 10, yes, should be in Spanish. Absolutely. Good question. Yeah, if you're gonna say 5 or 10, put it in Spanish. Otherwise, it just sounds weird. All right, so what I would like to do is if you have any other questions on the first 5, I want to answer them. And then I want to put you, if you're on Zoom, I want to put you in a breakout room. Let's practice. If you're here, I'm gonna let you practice with somebody. And then my hope is I'm gonna kind of watch my time. I'd like you to get to practice with like 2 different people here and then 2 different people on Zoom. And then we'll tackle the next 5. How are we feeling about these 5? Decent? All right, any questions for me? Okay, so if you are in here, I'll leave these questions up. If you are on Zoom, I assume you're looking at the questions, but just in case you're not, I'll put them up real quick. If you need to take a picture of it or screenshot it, you can do that here. Why don't I just put it so you can get both? So Zoom friends, if you need those questions, screenshot them real quick. Okay, then I'm going to take them down so I can put you in a breakout room. 5 seconds. All right, I'm assuming you got the questions. So in your breakout room and in person, you need to go through, you need to ask them the questions in Spanish. Obviously, part of this is recognizing the question. So you can ask them, do you want me to go in order or do you want me to mix it up? Or maybe at the first person you're with, you go in order, and then the second person you're with, you kind of mix it up so they actually have to listen to what the question is, because that's part of it. All right, if you think you know your answers, try not to look at them, try not to read them off the paper. If you think that you don't, then read them off the paper, right? So you do wherever you're kind of at. If you're on Zoom, please, please, please do this, okay? You need to practice and your partner needs to practice. If you haven't done them, I want you to be honest with your partner and say, I haven't done them, but I'll still ask you the questions, all right? So please do what you can. If you don't have a partner, let me know. I'll try and watch it on my breakout room and I'll move you if you don't get a partner, but it looks like everybody in theory should have one. All right. Yes, question? Okay. Zoom friends, go to your breakout room, please. All right. So in here, basically, here we go. All right. I'm going to screen share the last 5 questions. Let's run through those. So at this point, now we're thinking preterite. Right? So I don't want to hear any abas. I don't want to hear any ias, right? Again, their questions are in the to form. You change them to the yo form. So for the most part, if it's an ER verb, it depends how you answer it. 6 and 10 definitely are. How should you end those? You want to say I slept in number 10 or I broke in number 6? Yo form ends with N. I with an accent, right? If you have an AR verb, like maybe a number 9, depending upon how you used it, what should your verb end with? O is present tense, but we want past tense. Well, you say it A, but it's an E with an accent. All right. So again, if you need to go back, you've got notes on preterite under your class resources. So let's see what these mean and see if we can get a quick example. All right. Como un niño te rompiste huesos. ¿Cuáles? What am I asking about number 6? Did you break any bones? Right. So this is kind of focusing you on, first of all, that chapter that was all about accidents and breaking bones. What's cuál mean? ¿Cuáles? Which ones? Right. So you can tell me I broke my arm, I broke my leg. If you didn't break any bones, you can say I didn't break any bones. Just put a no in front, right? Or if you want to add some more vocab in, you can say I didn't break my leg or my arm, right? You can be specific. So what's that verb going to look like? Te rompiste. So the te is going to change to a may. And rompiste, what did we say? It should end with an I with an accent. So me rompí, whatever you broke. Okay, if you didn't break any, no, me rompí, right? And then you go from there. All right, number 7, tuviste puntadas muletas o radiografías. A lot of vocab there. Nora, what are we talking about? Oh, okay, go ahead. Question first. What was your word? What'd you say? No, what? I think you're overcomplicating it. I would say no. I would just keep it simple. I would say no me rompí huesos, right? I didn't break any bones. Keep it simple. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying basically I never had a broken bone. So that's fine. It's just a little fancier. If you want to say I didn't have, tango is present tense, so you'd want to put it in the past tense. So I would say no tuve, right? No tuve un hueso. I guess you can use the word broken if you want to, or no tuve. I don't know how you'd say that. It's kind of another, I mean, I didn't have a broken, I mean, you can look up the word for broken. It's not, that's the verb for broken, to break. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so now number 7, what am I talking about? Did you have any what, or what? Stitches, crutches, x-rays. So again, tu viste is an irregular verb. What should the yo form be? Tuve. Remember we did tuve and pude and I don't know, dije and traje. So again, you kind of just tell me I had stitches, or I had all of those, or if you didn't have any, you can tell me, but be specific. Say I didn't have stitches, or I didn't have crutches, or I didn't have, just use your vocab there. All right, número 8 is a very general question. ¿Qué hiciste ayer después de la escuela? What's my general question there mean for number 8? What'd you do after school? So again, this is one of those, like up at the top, I probably don't need you to use this verb again. So don't tell me, don't use that verb hacer. Just tell me, I ate with my family, or I did my homework. Actually, if you did say did, then you'd use that verb. But otherwise, I listened to music, I watched Netflix, I don't know. Again, think of a couple things you did. The more the merrier, and put it in the past tense. So again, check your endings. Okay, make sure you have your preterite ending. Maggie? So ise would be right in that because you're saying I did my homework. Yeah, don't use did unless you need it. Right? So you can say, you wouldn't say I played basketball. You just say I played basketball. But if you did your homework, then you'd use it. Maddie? You what? I went to volleyball, sure. Or la práctica de voleibol might sound a little better, but either way is fine. All right, number 9, kind of focusing you on some food, right? ¿Cómo preparaste la cena anoche? What's that one asking about? Yeah, it's kind of like, how did you prepare dinner, right? So again, think about some of your vocab that we've just done, right? Use the verb cook, use the verb, I don't know, maybe you cut up some vegetables, maybe you boiled something, maybe you, I don't know, come up with something. But again, see if you can get in a little bit of new vocab there. Okay, see if you can come up with something. Look at your vocab list. Right, see if you can give me a new verb there, or a new vocab word there, or something, that shows me, I don't know, how you prepared something. So you don't have to give me a whole recipe, right? But maybe tell me 1 or 2 things you did to help prepare dinner last night. Okay, 10. ¿Cuántas horas dormiste el fin de semana pasado? What am I asking about there? Yeah, gracias. So we're asking about sleep. How much sleep did you get? How many hours of sleep? Okay, absolutely. You think I want you to say that number in Spanish or English? Always assume Spanish. Always. And give me that verb in the past tense. How do you say I slept? Yo dormí. Good. So again, see what you can do to add to it. If it's just a real basic sentence, see if you can add something to it. But that's the general question there. All right, so once again, I would like to open it up if you have any questions, personal questions or pronunciation questions, and then I would like to give you a partner or two to practice with. Does anyone have anything you want me to go over? All right, Zoom friends, if you need to screenshot those questions or something, do it now, because then I'm gonna put you in your breakout room. Nora. So there's no stem change. You got it? All right, so let's put you in a breakout room again. I'm gonna mix up these rooms, I think. And let's see how we do. All right, so again, I'm gonna send you to breakout room. Please get there, please unmute, say hola, and try and focus on those second 5, and let's see how we do. All right, Zoom friends, you should have a room to go to. Ready, set, go. All right, in here, go find somebody. Maybe somebody different, maybe somebody you didn't talk to before. Go meet a new friend. New friend, go. New friend, go. Unique and Dalia, get to a room. Or old friend, that's okay. Old friends are good too. Okay, that's fine. All right, mix it up a little. Hey, Charles. All right, yeah, sure, take a minute. Yeah.
How do you pronounce this? Nunca?
Nunca,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hueso roto.
yeah, that works.
And then
Puntadas.
Okay.
Puntadas,
And then- Okay. I think that's it.
Okay. All right, Dalia, Unique, are you guys there? Dalia, Unique. There goes Unique. All right, remove. Give me 1 second. I just gotta make sure they got a friend here. Yes, sir.
For the first one. And I started off with, no, for like the first.
Oh, at the top,
Could I start it off with like Bill, come on, Aaron?
Okay, let's look at it. So you can start out with like homo niño. Well, the question is what were you on? So you want to say That's okay, I get it. Yeah.
Is it radio?
Radio, right. There you go. I guess I'd say
I'm separately.
Thank
All right, that's all I got.
We got so far away today. It's a lot.
Did you want to-
It's annoying.
Yeah, go
I'm gonna be here for- I just- I'm gonna be here.